Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Gulfstream today. And do not adjust your dials. This is not Sesame Street, and we are not Big Birds. Even though we're both in yellow today, Ron Nicoletti along with my buddy Pete Aiello, our track announcer here during the spring-summer meeting. And Pete, our first show of the season.
Well, it's always good to get on the offensive with making fun of yourself. It saves everyone else the trouble.
I knew they were going to be saying it, so we got the memo this morning, him and I, to wear the only thing that would make us look nice and slim up here is yellow, which is not the way you do it, but that's how things worked out. We got a beautiful day in South Florida, fast main track, firm turf course, and what a carryover in the Rainbow Six, which starts in race number 5 with this 10-race sequence, and it's over $735,000. There you see it, just a tick over $735,000, Pete. We also got a carryover today in the Super High 5, which is our last race each and every day, and that's up there, 2 pretty nice carryovers. So it should be a fun day, $4,600 plus.
Rainbow Six definitely getting in the life-changing score category. 20 cents is all you need to take it down. But for me, it's also getting to the point where even if they do hit it with multiple tickets, it's still overlay city because everyone's chasing that carryover. So it's still a wager to play. Even if you don't think you have a viable option to get that carryover, you're chasing and everyone else is chasing too. So there's definitely value in the Rainbow Six regardless of how many winners there are.
Yeah, I think it paid $39,000 yesterday, 6 out of 6. There were a couple of tickets in there. And, Pete joining me today, got Katie on special assignment up at Palm Beach Downs and Palm Meadows. We got all our horses that ran in the Florida Derby and expected to make their next starts in the Kentucky Derby, working well, materiality work today. The only little bit of a sour note that Upstart missed his work today. He had a little bit of a fever. So Katie up there checking it out for us.
Getting the scoop on the South Florida contingent for the first Saturday in May. It's going to be an excellent card of racing, as well as our excellent card of racing today that starts at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, let's go right to that first race today. 7.5 furlongs on the grass. Turf course listed as firm. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. I want to go back and show you a race from April Fool's Day. And this is the horse that I believe you have in second, I have in third, and that's Di Cayuga.
I don't know. DK Agua's Larry, we need you.
Well, I saw
DK Agua ran very, very well last time. Let's cue the video now. This is what I wanted you to see, where she was down the backside. She makes steady progression down on the inside, and then she'll end up under Gomez, who's a very, very good turf rider. He swung her all the way to the outside at the 3/16, and there's some more horses there, including Rajiv Miraj's mount, the number 2 Stranahan Dragon, who was expected to run well in there, and DK Agua was an outsider and ran over the top of him. I think that's the key part of this race, because for me, there's a lot of speed in here.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's going to sit a nice trip. Facing these 2 lifetime competition, that 5-wide trip was pretty nice for this horse. And I think the faster the pace scenario, how it unfolds, is really going to help this horse today. And as you mentioned, some speed in here. But I did go, and so did you, with the number 3, Defying Gravity, cutting back to 7.5 furlongs after rallying late to finish 4th, beating a length against similar competition. That was going a mile in the 16th. Trainer Jose Pinchin, Eddie Castro in the saddle. I used the 6, Indian Chaser in second. We basically have the same horses, just our second and third flip-flop.
Yeah, I think DK Agua will be coming from far back, whereas Defying Gravity will sit a nice trip behind the speed. There's a key component in this first race, and it comes from the inside in number 1, Princess Bella on Call. She did not run at all. That's the understatement of a lifetime last time out. She takes her game around 2 turns and moves to the turf here today. She has 1 gear, and it's a quick first gear. She'll have to hook Indian Chaser early, because just like with Lasso in yesterday's first race, if you leave these horses alone up top, especially with as hard as the turf course has been playing, it's hard to track them down.
Yeah, so we'll see how that first race plays. And always good to mark those down, see how the tracks are playing, both main track and turf course, for later on when you maybe jump into the Rainbow Six, as I mentioned, starts in race number 5. We'll go to race number 2, which is on the main track. Main track is fast. 1 mile claim is 4-year-olds and up, $6,250. I went with the 7 in here, Pete, Ludicrous Speed, stepping up today against open competition after finishing second in a trio of 62.50, 3 lifetime claimer races at the distance. It's a son of Giacomo. gets the tepid nod in there because, and I know you don't like to jump up from condition claiming up into open company, but I just thought number 7, Ludicrous Street, was the logical horse in here.
I'm kind of afraid the first 2 races we've had the same 3 horses. At some point, I'm going to take a different road, I'm sure. But in today's second race, I'm with you with the same 3 horses. You're right about why I don't like the 7 on top. The number 5, Beantown Skipper, has been knocking heads against these wide-open condition types. Finished 3rd last time out and 2nd 3 starts ago. Again, he's a horse that does have some tactical speed, but can also come from off it. He's tactical that way. You can rate him or you can send him, and he's definitely a horse that you want to use in that race. Number 3 is a horse, Cactus Kid. He has no speed. He's going to be coming from behind. The main track here at Gulfstream Park has changed a little bit. As we saw last week, if you were on the inside 4 lanes and you were anywhere near the lead early, you pretty much had no shot.
Right.
Even the horses in front were drifting off into the 5 and 6 path. Last couple of days, the inside has been good, and speed has returned to be a valuable weapon of choice. Make sure you take note of that when you're handicapping today's card.
You know, that 3 Cactus Kid beating the nose at this level and distance when breaking from an inside post. That was back on March 8th. Now goes back to an inside post, breaking from post 3, broke from post 11 last time out, and I thought the inside draw will help this horse a little bit more today. But we are basically in agreement in our first 2 races, which does not happen often with Pete and I when we do our handicapping.
Scary.
Third race, 1 mile. Claim is fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up, $6,250.
Oh, no.
Scratch number 5, Ariel's Bay. And as we look up, we've done it again, just not in the exact right order. I'll start first because I have the number 8, Sylvia's Given Angel on top. A reclaim by Acclaimed Racing Stables and trainer Kirk Zadie, making her first start since finishing 3rd at this level and distance. And 1 start that was under the tutelage of trainer Antonio Sano. It's a popular daughter of Point Given. I like the fact that they went back in to get this horse. Always been one of the angles that I always look for. We actually had a horse that did that yesterday. Went back to Dunbarn and played a lot of money. So number 8, Sylvia's Given Angel. Not going to pay a lot, but I thought I'd put it on top of my ticket.
The only reason why she didn't end up on top of my ticket is the pace flow in this race. I project that there's some horses in here that if they have any chance at all, including the 2 ill-considered, they have to go. I don't know about Sylvia's Given Angel at a mile stalking the pace. If we were going 3/4, I'd think she could sit off the speed from an outside post, no problem. With the mile journey, at least from what I know of Sylvia's Given Angel, she'll be on or near the lead in here, and I figure that maybe the 3 Sorteria for with the Bug Boy riding will be able to get a bit better pace scenario from off the speed. But again, we handicapped, or at least I did, I handicapped this race when the main track was not as speed favoring as it's been the last couple days.
Well, yeah, you know, when we came back from the break over the weekend, you know, we had a horse yesterday. You just go out there, it looks like, you know, the old Gulfstream track, and I'd sort of handicap it that way. The other horse that we have in 3rd, both of us, Holy Day, now in the Carlo Vaccarezza barn. It's a daughter, full mandate, making her first start since finishing 4th. But that was against $8,000 claim, is going 7 furlongs, cross down at Gulfstream Park West. Tyler Gaffalione, 2-time winner at the distance, 6 starts, 2 wins, and a second.
I just think she's the best of the rest. I had thrown everybody else out, so she landed 3rd for me.
Well, let's go to race number 4, and this one is back on that firm turf course. 7.5 furlongs. Maiden claim is 3-year-olds and up. $25,000. Scratch the number 1 in here. Gray Bow actually was one of my selections in here.
Mine too.
But not my top. I still had the number 2, Smoke Police on top. Claimed by Terry Pompey. Went 3rd behind a pair of next out winners. So it was a key $20,000 turf race at the distance. That was back on January 19. Now goes back to the turf with blinkers added. Had trouble in its last race, was fractious at the gate, and I just thought this horse in the spot that it is, you know, that he's going to run very well on the turf here today. So number 2, Smoke Police on top of my ticket.
Smoke Police, my best bet on the program. I love this horse here in this race. Eddie Castro gets the call for Terry Pompey. Ronnie, you talked about the trouble she had last time. The key part of that is it was on the main track.
Right.
Her races on the turf have been so much better. She's had 2 races on the turf, one of them here at Gulfstream Park, off the layoff for Chad Brown, so she should be tighter now. She should be better now. She's getting blinkers. She's stretching her game around 2 turns, and she faces a field, at least in my opinion, that has more questions than answers. I think Smoke Police, with the proven resume and an inside post, I think she takes them gate to wire. She's coming out of live races, summation time, or was a winner 3 back, came right back to win for Clement, and then each of her last 2 horses that she lost to in their Gulfstream debut came back to win again. This is her 2nd start over the Gulfstream turf course. I love her here. here. I think she has this to lose.
Well, I'm interested in yours having second. Numbers Vintage News up there at 15-1. That's what we like to see.
Well, simply because I didn't trust anybody else. With Graybo out and everybody else having form that just doesn't impress me, I'll go with the fresh face for the second position. Third position is Expected Meeting, a horse that you and I are quite familiar with. He's a tough horse to ride, and jockey Diego Gomez has had his hand on him just about 6 or 7 times lately. He's tough. I mean, I think he'll win at some point. I think he's on the bottom of the ticket today.
Yeah, the sneaky eye, and there was a horse that was up in Tampa last time out the 5. Andy Popo makes his local turf debut. Looks like he showed good amount of speed up there. He set the pace. He weakened to finish 4th. I don't know how to translate. You would know better. $30,000 maidens up at Tampa to what he's going to face here today. And I'm in agreement with you that 2 Smoke Police is certainly the one to beat in here. Just thought I'd throw that one on the ticket, maybe to get a bit of a price.
Andy Popo, I can give you the dope on his last race. The winner Saturday, What a Day, was coming out of some strong maiden races for trainer Saul Matos. He looked good winning that race. It was a competitive field that day, so Andy Popo did well to be 4th under Victor LeBron.
Well, you know, our 5th race this afternoon is 6 furlong allowance optional claim of fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up, $25,000. And this is where the Rainbow 6 starts with a 10-race card. It's races 5 through 10. I want to go back and show you a race from a horse that we both saw break its maiden last year. And I'll tell you why we're going to show you this race as the video comes up here. It was just a very impressive performance by number 6, Sweet Basil. And now this horse had come in, shipped in from Fairgrounds into the Ralph Nix barn and went off to break its maiden impressively this day. That is exactly what's happening today. Coming back, almost the same type of layout, coming back to South Florida, back in the Ralph Nix barn. So I'm trying to see, as Yogi Berra says, if this could be deja vu all over again.
Well, I don't have really much to add to that other than the fact that a lot of times with me, as everyone who's watched the program here knows, I don't like horses off the van, as I say. I don't think she qualifies. She has a local breeze here at Gulfstream Park just a few days ago, and it was a good one. I think it was just for Ralph Nix to see where he's at with this filly, and she looks very, very good to me. She'll have to track down Momentary Magic.
Yeah, Momentary Magic on my ticket, too, along with you. And I also used the 4 Distinct Diva, stepping up the competition, drawing away to defeat $12,500 2 lifetime claimers. Won that race by 17 lengths. More importantly, it's Peter Walder. I don't know if this horse is at the same ilk as these, but this horse, I believe, you got to use on your Rainbow 6 ticket somewhere. At least I thought you did.
I didn't.
No?
I think that this race, I was actually just going to talk about that. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of the people in the Rainbow 6, they're either going to single right off the bat here and pick between Momentary Magic or Sweet Basil, or they'll use them both, go too deep, and move on. Whatever you want to do, you're not going to get any argument from me. Duchess of Wicklow completes my ticket. She'll be rallying from off the speed.
Well, let's go to race number 6, and this is where the pick 5 kicks off, and it's a 6 furlong maiden claiming event, 3-year-olds and up, $12,500. One jockey change in the race, and that comes on number 6, Make the Rider, Carlos Olivero. And I have never, in all the years, last year and a half that we worked together, Pete, have so many of the same horses on top of our ticket. So we both have the 4, Gato Macho. What's going on?
Well, I think as the late Macho Man Randy Savage used to say, the cream rises to the top. And number 4, Gato Macho, seems to be rounding into form. You have to excuse his first start on the dirt course at Gulfstream Park because he was off a bit of a freshening. It was his first start on the main track. It was also his first start at one turn. They put him back on the grass. That was a bad idea. They dropped again, put him on the main track, and he rallied to be second. It's just kind of one of those races. But I think if you're a multi-leg player, this is a race where even though we both like Gato Macho, if he's the favorite, you got to try to beat him. There is some viable alternatives here.
Yeah, one of the horses I had some interest in, and that I thought I might throw on my ticket is the 5, and that's a Podok Chan. This one proved to compete with this caliber competition. He shipped in for Tampa. He breaks awkwardly in that race. He's 5 wide on the turn, and he still manages to finish third. He was 67-1 behind aforementioned Gato Macho. What this shows to me that this horse can't compete at this level, had a little bit of trouble, maybe with a clean trip can reverse that previous outcome.
I looked at it the other way. I thought Podoshan being third, for me, being able to, I study the Tampa races for full disclosure. I'm pretty sharp on those races. And Podoshan didn't come out of very good races, and he didn't run well in the races that he came out of. So then he shipped here to Miami and finished third in a debut at 60-1. He should have been 60-1 based on his Tampa form, but he's only a length and a quarter behind Gato Macho. Right. That worries me. That makes me think that this race might be more competitive than it looks on paper.
Yeah, and you went to the outside a little bit. it with the 11 Starship Verdict?
Well, first, number 3, Wizard's Clip. He cuts back for Jason Service and takes a drop in class. He showed some speed last time out against better horses. I think he'll have to improve, obviously, if he's going to get the lion's share here. But for me, I was trying to find horses that weren't coming out of that same common race as Gato Macho, trying to use that as maybe the chink in the armor. The 11-horse Starship Verdict, he's going to be a big number, and if you can afford it, I would toss him in here simply because Steve Dwoskin's second out. Yeah, even though he's 3% in the racing form, everybody in South Florida knows Dwoskin horses first time out. That's a laughable statistic. You never play Steve Dwoskin first time out. But as these horses get rolling, they get better and better and better. Am I asking a lot of Starship Verdict to win second time out after a bad race?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I am. But that's the whole point of it. He's going to be a big prize.
Well, I also threw in the 1BF Forever, was given some time off, tracked the pace last time, finished 5th against $12,500 maidens, going 5.5 furlongs. Sealed sloppy track that day, but I respect the connections. Stanley Gold is the trainer. Edgard's Eyes handling the colt's first start. It's been since February 5th, but I just think if this horse has gotten back and can run well in here, and I agree with Peter wholeheartedly. You know, we both have the 4 Gato Macho on top of my ticket, but I think you got to go deep here. I really
think
do.
That's definitely the move, and I'll segue into the 7th race. For me, the 7th race is a 2-horse race. So now we have race number 5, 2-horse race in my view. Race 6, wide open. Race 7, 2-horse race. That means you can go as much as 5 deep in a pick 3 and have it only cost you $20.
Well, that 7th race is 1 mile and 1/16th on the turf. Maiden 3-year-olds. We got 2 scratches. One is Mason's Song, and the other one is the main track only. Number 13, Charm the World. I want to go back and show you a video of number 3, Extensible. This one just walked out of the gate last time out and then ran pretty well. There you'll see it right here. You see that's Extensible, the number 8 horse, just way back there and everything like that. Horse. And when we switch to the stretch, you'll see this horse comes running pretty darn good, you know, to be up there, to be 3rd in this race. And I just thought the horse ran exceptionally well. Absolutely walked out of the gate. So I at least see a lot of upside, besides the fact it being Chad Brown. The horse just keeps coming. Slips through on the inside. And like I said, gets beat a half length for the whole thing. And I just thought that horse ran exceptionally well after walking out of the gate.
I hadn't seen that replay. That was impressive. I don't know what it was impressive against. That's my concern. Silver Lucky Q was the winner of that race. He came back here the other day to run against allowance horses and was nowhere. That was my concern, because I think that there's some horses in here with some huge upside. I'm absolutely shocked on camera the first time Ron Nicoletti shocks me in 2015. You have Bridge of Luck nowhere on your ticket.
I have nowhere's out. Well, that's how we handle it. Well, and you do.
I do. I like her quite a bit in here. He's so well bred, and you guys know me. I'm not a big breeding guy, but he's by Giants Causeway out of the multiple Grade 1 winner, Voodoo Dancer, who ironically enough started her career in South Florida for this same conditioner, Christophe Clement. Eddie Castro gets the call. Long on the grass is that pedigree. Long on the grass is what you get. Christophe Clement, first time out, is quite all right with me. Bridge of Luck, definitely my top play in this race.
Well, we'll see how that works out. I got my long shot in that race too, and that is good and proper. If you look at this horse's first race at 7.5 furlongs, 2 starts back, runs 3rd behind a pair of next out winners. The horse that wins that race comes back and wins the Cutler Bay Stakes. This horse stretches out to 9 furlongs last time out, doesn't run that well. Coming back today, Diego Gomez. I really like the way he rides on the turf course here. Larry Bates, right now he's tied for leading trainer. He's got 2 wins. We meet you started on Wednesday, so if you're looking for a little bit of a long shot in there, you might want to go with a horse that's 15-1 on the morning line, and that's the 9, Good and Proper.
You want to talk about Sassy Mo, or do you want me to? Because I definitely have some things to talk about. We both use the 4-horse Sassy Mo second. Comes in from trainer Chris Blocksbarn. I don't know about you, Ronnie. Has Chris been here all winter? I haven't seen him run.
He's had a couple of starts.
Yeah, he hasn't run very many. He's getting them legged up for Chicago. Sassy Mo hasn't been seen since Keeneland last year on the main track. Has been gelded since that race, keeping excellent company so far in his racing career. The horse who beat him 2 starts ago, My Johnny Be Good, came back to win a very nice allowance race at Tampa, ran in both of the preps, the Sam Davis and the Tampa Bay Derby, and then went to Dubai and ran in the UAE Derby. He didn't run any good, but that's still the type of horses that Sassy Mo's been running against. Carlino, next out winner in his last race, came back to be pretty darn nice. I think this horse is ready to go. I like Chris Block off the layoff, even though some folks would argue, no, he's getting him ready for Chicago. Maybe, but with Serpa riding on the grass, and as well as Serpa's has been riding the grass, he's a must-use.
Yeah, and Chris Block, always one of my favorite angles here at Gulfstream Park during our championship season. He didn't run that many horses this year, but always got to pay attention to him. He's 24% with his horses debuting, but this horse is by hard spun, and I love hard spuns on the grass. So very nice race. The horse I put in the outside closing bell, $400,000 Son of Tappet. Bill Mott, 12 pace and part workouts. Bill Mott not known to win first time out, but this horse is beautifully bred. He gets Lasix, and he's got Edgar Prado handling that outside post. So one of those races we've been talking to about 5 minutes, there's a lot of different ways to go in there, even though you said it's a 2-horse race.
I like it 2 horses. I'm going to use it 4 or 5. I'm going to play it exactly the way I said it. 2 by spread by 2 in the pick 3.
Well, let's go to race number 8, 7 furlongs on the main track. Maiden claim is 3-year-olds and up. $60,000 down to $50,000. We'll have a full field of 9 runners in here, and I went with the 3 Furlan Husky. I went to the Furlan Husky Wings of a Dove Museum in Nashville. Have you ever been there?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm not even going to hide behind trying to make something up.
You don't know who Furlan, the singer?
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Too young. Turning back, dropping to the $60,000 level after returning from the 10-month layoff to finish third behind a repeat winner called Juba. That was in a maiden special weight test, going 6.5 furlongs. Bill Mott is very good with the longer, second starter for longer than 108-day layoff. Eddie Castro in the saddle. I like this horse today. I think this is one of the horses where I would be tempted to single.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that's fine because I don't have a strong opinion in here. So the number 7, Great Harbor K, was my top play. Used the 3 second. Great Harbor K comes out for Kirk Zadie in Acclaimed Racing. Ran well in the debut. You have to tell me about Tony Adams, what, if anything, you know about him. But any horse that can win by 10 lengths in this maiden special at Gulfstream has to have some talent.
Yeah, had some talent. He was well meant. They were talking about that Tony Adams horse. The other horse that had some trouble in there was the one First Among Equals, well meant second in his $50,000 career debut right here on February 27th, and he drops back into the claimed ranks. Had some trouble. It was against State Bred, a maiden special weight competition. He was bumped twice in that race. He faded to finish a distant 5th behind the horse that you have on top of your ticket. It's Great Harbor K. And the only thing I have the concern is that inside post coming out of the 7 furlong shoot.
Yeah, the pace of this race confuses me because I don't know how the pace is going to play. I'm one of those guys, if I can't figure out who's going to land where, even if some of the races look like there's only 2 or 3 horses, I stay away. I don't know how this race is going to set up tactically, so it's a worry race for me. I'm going to spread in here.
Well, let's go to race number 9, 5 furlongs on the turf, an allowance optional claim of 4-year-olds and up, $25,000. Scratch the main track only participant, a number 8 in their bold Summit, and we both went with number 2, Starship Wildcat.
Not a whole lot of strong opinions from me the rest of the afternoon, full disclosure. But Starship Wildcat moves to the Jane Sabelli barn. That's good because I think, in my opinion, Jane will always move up on horses first time out. For her shed row, this horse doesn't have to move up to be one of the horses to beat in here. Should trip out pretty nice. He'll stalk the pace and maybe get a chance to run him down. I like the races that he comes out of. Starship Sulu, hard-knocking campaigner down here in South Florida, and then a repeat winner in Golden Emperor 2 starts ago.
Well, that horse, for all the reasons you mentioned, really what I like, too, is this horse is training sharply across town at Gulfstream Park West, which is a deeper surface. I think this horse is going to run very well in there. But I agree. When I put my Rainbow Six ticket together, that we showed to the public, I went deep at 3-3 in this last 2 races because I didn't have a strong opinion. I put the 4, as you did, Delta Bluesman, 4 for 6 in the money, sprinting on the grass. Going back to the turf today after finishing third against this level of optional claimers, going 6 furlongs on the main track. George Navarro, solid with the turf to dirt, dirt to turf angle. Just thought it was a logical choice.
He seems like he's well spotted in terms of a racing category, but again, tactically, I'm just very confused here. Our turf course has been playing very, very quick. That's not to say it's been biased. It's just been playing very, very quick. I'll be interested to see if Delta Bluesman can make the lead at this trip coming off the main track.
I threw in the 3, Slamorama stepping up after drawing off to defeat 20,003 lifetime claimers by 3 lengths. It was a pretty nice race. It was drawing off at the end. The trainers, John Toscano Jr., has Prentice Tyler Gaffleone, who's been riding in great form over the last few weeks.
For me, I went with Serpa on the grass. It's it's always a good idea, and Wild Mongolia ran so well last time out. I think he might be the speed of the speed to hang around for a share.
Well, let's go to our 10th and final race on the Saturday card. This one has the super high 5, 1 mile and 1/16th on the turf. Claimers 4 and up, non-winners of 3 races in life, $12,500. Scratch the one, Bright Guy. Note the jockey on the number 6 is Marco Meneses. So we will see how this race plays out. I know you wanted to go back and show us a race of Latent Fire.
Yeah, I actually do. I lied a little bit here. I do actually have an opinion here. I like Latent Fire. You'll see him down to the inside again. I wanted to show early position versus late position. Latent Fire down to the inside there for Panici, saving ground, and a bit tight there, but well placed. The horse up top is going to wing. He opens up about 10 or 12, and then turning for home, Latent Fire still down inside. Panici saving every inch of ground. Ricochet just took the lead. Glenstall Abbey, the 9 horse, is going to run him down, but watch Latent Fire. He just can't quite quicken up with those top 2 horses, but he is moving well in the end. And if you look, Ronnie, at his turf races, he doesn't have a lot of them, but he has 2 races at Gulfstream West that were solid, and then his race back on the turf course last time here was solid. I think he has some upside in a race where there's not a whole lot of upside.
Well, we both have that one on top of the ticket, and I'm glad to see that replay. Number 10, Dominate, is getting some class relief after the eventful outing against $16,000 3 lifetime runners, in which he encountered early trouble. If you go back and look at this race, he steadied from the 7/8 pole to the 3/4 pole. He finished 9th. Terry Pompey, I think, finds a perfect level for the son of any given Saturday, and I see you also threw this horse on the ticket.
Yeah, but my handicapping angle is not nearly as solid as yours. I was looking at this race, and I have some guys that I like the way they ride the grass course. Luca Panici being one of them, Eddie Castro being another. That's how come he ended up second with me.
I threw the 3 in there, Thunder Run in third, and Pete went with the number 2 horse in there, Scarabajo, on the ticket.
Again, Scarabajo, he'll come running for a minor award, but Zayas up. When looking at the overnight on this race in terms of riders that routinely win grass races here in South Florida, those were the 3 that I saw: Zayas, Panici, and Castro.
There you go. You heard it here first. So we have a great carryover in the Rainbow Six, which starts in race number 5, Pete. $735,000 plus. Going to be close to $1 million today, I guess, by the time the smoke clears.
Yeah, we should mention there's a couple of key scratches. We talked about it earlier. Gray Bow is out, and Bright Guy scratched out of the final race today. He had a big chance. So, no, we're not overlooking those key contenders. They're just not running. And speaking of that, we'll get you caught up on the program changes in a moment.